Welcome to Champlin Park High School on QCTV Sports for this Northwest Suburban Conference soccer doubleheader. It's the girls Rebels taking on the Andover Huskies. I'm Pete Anderson alongside Joe Rulin. And Joe, these two teams have played some very, very tough competition. Their records reflect playing that tough competition with losing records. But both teams feel like they have a very competitive chance here today.
Yeah, very much so. And in fact, if you look back and you see it visible, at least for Andover, they lost a lot of that class that went to the state tournament, lost to Edina in the quarterfinals, but a very competitive, tons of skill and goal scorers and goalkeepers that are gone for Andover. Meanwhile, Champlin Park to the state just a couple of years also before that. And now they find the programs really trying to find some ways to keep them on focus and start to build for even its mid-season, postseason here as they make a run at section play.
On the home side, looking for that spark, looking to lead. As I had talked to head coach Alex Alvarez prior to kickoff here tonight, you know, it's going to fall on senior captain Olivia Mell, Ainsley Krebsbach, Mia Schellenberg are the three names that he really said, you know, if we get going, it's going to be because those three find their groove and find their confidence and really start taking over for us.
Yep, and it does. You got to have secure play between the posts. Such a critical spot. Outlet passes, making clears. They're really the quarterback behind everyone are the keepers, and then getting those key players going as well.
On the Andover side, it starts, ends, and you know, we'll finish ultimately with Addie Dobratz in the middle, and she is the spark. She's got 2 goals, 2 assists on the season as we're underway. Opening kickoff controlled initially by the Rebels, and now it's the Huskies playing on their side of the field, looking to open up some lanes.
Looking to reverse and now get some one-touch passing and see if they can hit the switch somehow and get the flow down the line.
Turnover there off of the attempted pass by Fields. We'll have a throw in for Champlin Park. As these teams both said, you know, having conversations with the coaches, their control of the middle of the field is going to be important. Free ball coming through the box. Bree Law racing out to get that. Mac Jones setting a little bit of a pick on the forward for Champlin Park, that being Olivia Mell.
And you gotta love the energy that a Mac Jones brings. She brings that smoke, that swag from hockey, heading to University of Wisconsin next year. But you know, Coach Grease says it's great to have her energy on the field.
Wind blowing a very stiff, probably 15 to 20 miles an hour from our right to left on your television or computer dial. Certainly
you can you know, engage, square up on a couple of screamers that could go right over the top of the crossbar from maybe the 30. It's so strong. A mini jet stream. Certainly the advantage with the team that has the wind at their back.
And as you mentioned that Mac Jones swagger, that was what she did in last Thursday's game against Coon Rapids, netting her 2nd goal of the season. Crossing attempt there for the Huskies. Gets deflected. Now back on Ellie Fields' left foot. She'll send it ahead near side, and I think we're going to have an offside call. We do. And that will be a free kick on the backside for Champlin Park out of their own box.
You see, you know, many of these young ladies out here playing multiple sports, certainly with Ellie Fields too, her basketball last year. I was impressed with her outside shooting, but also defensively she would come in and be a stopper. And you see that also here on the field.
Outlet pass comes out close to midfield, not quite there. Rebels will cycle back and then just send it out. Allow themselves to get back into position and maintain their markings. Fields on the throw-in. High arching, attempted header missed, and it'll roll all the way out past the end line.
Well, that wind does have an attitude to it, so you have a throw-in. You might be able to get it close, maybe to the 6 from certain angles of that throw-in on the field. And let's see if a team can take advantage of that right now. You see the Rebels trying to just work it out, but the Huskies really pressuring.
Working through a little bit of pressure. That's Wax, and Wax will push it beyond that end line, and another goal kick for the Rebels And that's Caitlin Kringle surveying. She's dished off the last two. It looks like this time she's going to take a run at it. She does. Drives that all the way out to just shy of the 40-yard mark.
Chance here, good chance. First, I think, soccer match I've had a chance to see on this new scoreboard. Some pressure coming up, trying to really force a turnover.
Play at midfield, and the Rebels will reverse course again, trying to create that lane, and the Huskies, no hesitation, put the pressure on and trying to create turnovers and give themselves chances on the plus side of the field. One touch there by Dobrats, gets deflected, but it plays well to Peyton McKnight. Now Kowalczyk working to the outside, puts a drive on it, but it catches a body in this.
First set piece, first corner kick opportunity for either team.
Corner kick here coming for the Huskies. Kowalczyk turns and fires from the right side. She was down low inside the 18 last Thursday and got that goal to go over him. Low spinning kick, hits out at about the 10-yard mark, and will deflect out. It'll be a throw-in for the Huskies. She's not going to wait at all. Gets it in. And
thought she was maybe going to get a corner there, but was off of Andover. And that corner kick opportunity just kept low, probably right at the tip of the corner of the 6.
Kringle drives this one short of the 25, picked off by Dobrats. Dobrats just above the 18, doesn't get all of it, and it flutters into the hands of Kringle.
Hey, the bouncing ball, you're going to try to square up on it as much as you can. That one thing went probably just off of her shin, just below or just up above the foot.
A lot of backspin on that one. Working through traffic was Dobrats, couldn't complete that pass, and it's the Rebels coming the other way. Good move on the outside and a good step up on the defense for the Huskies. Macy Wax from the outside trying to spring Dobrats. Good deflection on the Rebels backfield. Kowalczyk. Near side shot attempt from about 25 yards out. Right into the breadbasket of Kringle.
Haven't seen her really tested yet with the wind at the back for the Huskies. You know, you talk to either coach, and I remember Coach Grease would always do this when I would talk about how windy it is. And she'd say, well, Joe, we got to play our game. You know, keep it low, keep it on the field. And, you know, many of the coaches with that same philosophy, you know, don't overdo it. But, gosh, that's a good gust. And, of course, Andover have a couple of players who can bring it from well beyond the 18 for a quality shot.
Here's Mac Jones, wind blowing from her right to left. She's going to have a crossing attempt here, about 15-yard mark. Outside the box, however, on the outer edge. She's going right at it and catches, looks like the head of.
Result in a corner kick, yep, exactly.
It'll be an overkick, but it was Kushnerik that bravely stepped in front of that one, as we'll see right here on the replay. Kushnerik.
You know, it's like stepping in front of one of her slap shots from the point when she's on that power play. She's got such a heated, heavy type of shot, and that is a heavy ball. Kudos to the defender. Second corner kick opportunity for Andover.
Near side. This is Kowalczyk. She'll put a drive into it right in front, and a header came out to the near side. Back to Kowalczyk. She'll send it across on the far side. Moving over there quickly was Wax, but it's taken away off of her foot. And a good play on the Rebels backfield.
Oh, that was a splendid corner kick. Almost finding the back of the net, but well right just inside the 6.
Rush on the far side, sent
Rebels
ahead for the Rebels. I believe this is Egan. And Jones gets to the ball and
dismantles that opportunity and forces a throw in and stop the pace of play.
This will be Egan, Ari Egan, with the throw in. Rebels trying to use the body to defend there on the far side, and to no avail. It'll be the Huskies on a throw in. And this is
the throw down the line, moving down for a deeper throw. As you can see, Champlin Park trying to get down and get some sort of pressure set up, but Andover continues to keep the ball in the pace, almost like they're playing downhill with the wind at their back.
Working through the middle now, it's the Rebels trying to create a little bit of spacing and some lanes. That pass off the mark. Fields retreats. Now sent ahead, and a one-touch here near side for Dobrats. Dobrats trying to get past the defense. Good work on the back end. There by Schellenberg, and still getting the shot towards the net, where the Huskies take away, but we're going to have a foul.
Well, I tell you, sometimes that wind puts more pressure on you than you're thinking. It was just in that case right there with Dobrats, and you saw Schellenberg make a nice play, but the deflection went high, and suddenly that thing on the deflection had a chance of going back in, and they were finally able to move it out of the box and with the free kick.
That wind, you see, just holds the ball up in the air. And good defense on the near side for the Huskies. But another throw in for the Rebels.
Let's see if they can get some pressure going near the top of the 18 here on some weaves and quick passes.
One touch into the middle. Free ball comes above the box, and a good play by the Huskies to clear it out of that danger area.
Dobrats continues to be so aggressive offensively, just coming out to try to disrupt a pass, a tip, force a turnover. I like how Andover came out of their own end of the field that last possession. 2 quick touch passes, and Dobrats had it on her foot. Here's another chance.
Dobrats tries to spring her teammate, I believe, on the near side, but it doesn't work out. Here comes the other way. Good job, Mac Jones, taking away the angle, just rolling that one out, but it'll allow the Huskies to regroup a little bit. Quickly thrown in. Trying to turn and fires Mel, and her time and space is taken away. She couldn't get a good scoring opportunity. This one's going to roll all the way down to Kringle inside the box. She'll scoop it up.
That ball had a little bit of that curling effect to it. You could see him trying to make sure she could get it, bring out the broom and make a sweep, pick up the velo back.
Long pass up ahead, and then checks up nicely on the turf, and it's an opportunity for Mel on the far side. Looking, Brelock comes out. She can't make the save. It's Olivia Mel scoring here. 11 and a half minutes in, and the Rebels have a 1-0 lead.
I'll tell you, Olivia Mel stopped, started, great footwork, a little dancing with the stars opportunity here. She settled the ball, then found a way to create some spacing. Excellent job, and buried it lower 90. And a chance right there. Rebels jump out to a 1-0 lead. Olivia Mel, a nice pass downfield as well, as they could see her, and almost with that pass kicked her open.
The goal for Mel, her second on the season. Dobrats picks off that kick from Kringle, and now gives on the near side, working down the angle and trying a crosser. Good play on the backside to prevent that from getting a corner. Now Dobrats winding, firing high, and off that goes off the football uprights.
And there was one of those screamers. Got it on the foot just right and unleashed one to Dobrats that rattled the goalpost. And those are the ones that you have to try to close up that shooting zone, those avenues, on a day like this. And, boy, good hustle, always active, always ready.
Player down on the turf for Champlin Park, getting attended to.
A little disappointed the public address did not give an assist on that goal to Champlin Park. He seems to be very conservative about dishing out dimes and assists, but it was we get a replay on that goal. You can see that outlet pass that ended up right on the foot. Mel did a good job. You mentioned it. I mean, it was like a sudden stop on that turf, played it well, and then finished the job and closed it with a low goal. And so many people get hyped. Here's a look. Thanks. The truck
this is
does shot.
A replay of that shot. And Dobratz, as she followed through, rolls into
Caitlin Shortridge.
I believe that, is it Shortridge or is that Sam Harbaugh? I think it's 16, 15. She really hasn't given us a clear shot of her.
Good, yeah. What is she? You know, some of these players can be so selfish.
Yeah, I mean,
that,
just
they're
just
on
turn
the
a
injured,
little bit for us, please, Caitlin/Sam.
But you hope that, yeah, she's doing fine. Hot day on the field.
I'm going to guess that's 85. Sam as a midfielder. There it is. 16. It is Sam Harbaugh getting attended to. She's going to get helped up by assistant coach Megan Witchker.
Yeah, hope that she can at least try to walk it off a bit as a temporary injury. They certainly need her in that lineup, and with her skills, the sophomore. Sam
Very
Harbaugh.
ginger on right leg. And as she comes off, the Rebels will come back from their bench out right in front of us.
It's a double feature today, this afternoon. It's girls playing in the matinee. And then it's the boys, Champlin Park in Andover. And they are right at 7 p.m. Champlin Park, the boys. 2 tough losses to end their section seasons consecutively to Maple Grove. Again, 2 consecutive seasons. I think it was 2-1 loss last year, 1-0 the year before. So they get a team that's got some juice, but in Section 5 couldn't get by Maple Grove, and Maple Grove appears to be out to another good start, both the boys and the girls teams.
That one coming up later. Right now we're back underway after the injury stoppage. You know, Joe, one thing I've noticed here early on is Champlin Park, even in their own end, just trying to get out of their own end, they're using the perimeter. They do not want that ball floating around in the middle. They're trying to keep that Addie Dobratz neutralized as much as possible, and the rest of the scoring options. Here's in the box, just tipped wide. Good touch in the middle.
Well, it's going to be another corner opportunity, the third here of the first half for Andover. And you're right, Pete, but every little bounce, anything that goes up the middle, you got to keep it wide and get it out that way. And any bounce with this wind, you just know, you can't tell which way it's going to bounce.
Peyton McKnight puts another drive into it. Far side post! Nobody there. Had the nice bend on it as it was curling, but I don't think anybody got a piece of it.
And no one on that back door to come in and give that header, as it was a flyby over the top of the goal box, and not able to deflect. Nice corner kick, though. Good touch. I thought that was well placed.
And quickly, Champlin Park out to the races. They are able to use the perimeter to get it out to midfield. Chasing on near side is Seasonbath. Or correction, that is Blanchette. And
they took it right in the mouth on a pass. Moving up, was that Jones?
I think
or Dobratz. It's not. Couple of early injuries, so keep an eye on let you know what transpires.
Keep an eye on that. We'll have into the game for the Huskies in that spot is Paige McKnight, Peyton's younger sister.
Rebels here trying to really attack the middle. Quite the opposite attack when they're on the defenses. They want to go right at the Huskies defensively. It's worked once. They're going to try it again.
Ball comes free at midfield. Field's going to get called for that foul. And a little bit of contact there. Call made. So we'll be right at 50 yards out from the goal line. Kick curls right in front of the 25 mark. And quickly right back out to midfield as the Rebels couldn't maintain pressure.
Reversing it now, the Rebels coming near side of the field, trying to find an alley.
Finds the foot of Jones, but Mel is able to fight through that. Now it's on Overham's foot. A little back and forth. Working to the outside is Blanchette. Finds Collins. Collins will try a cross. That one arcs back.
That was a heck of a cross because that was going into a stiff wind.
With the wind, but it does cause an offside. And we'll have a free kick here from Bree Law inside.
So that was Dobrats. Was that Dobrats who took the brunt of that ball?
No, Dobrats is still on the field. The trainer's doing his job, but he's also blocking our Fields and Blanchette contest. Blanchette's able to get it over to Krebsbach. Now on Dobrats. Near side for Paige McKnight. Back for Dobrats. Goes near side and a one-touch back for Dobrats. She's going to race to try and get there before it goes out of bounds and just too far outside her reach. Little too
much juice on that last pass, but I still like the one-touch technique and quickly moves out. Accurate passing. But that one, last one, a little too long for Dobrats.
Van Gay gets back just before it went out of bounds. Stopped and held. Champlin Park still trying to work through. And Kowalchuk quickly picks it up and throws it in, trying to lead it out. It'll be a throw-in just beyond the end line.
And you can see Andover really pressuring as they get near that end line to try and see if they can get a result of another corner kick opportunity. They've had 3 so far.
Headed into the box, and then we got a whistle, and a foul is going to be called. Not sure who that infraction on Kowalchuk too physical.
Well, hey, you know, you kind of hope, even from last year's experience at the state tournament, the amazing season for Andover, the players who were part of that team or maybe on JV or other squads could kind of get a feel of what it takes, good teamwork and leadership, to elevate your team and teams as well.
McKnight feeds Wax on the far side. Ling tried to step up but lost it into the middle, trying to feed Kowalchuk. Rebels turning it back around, still using that perimeter. Now work back to the middle, and will send a long through ball. Good job on the backside. That's Giada Grape. She was the one marking Mel on that first goal and got beat by that stutter step. And another foul against Kowalchuk inside Rebels territory. It'll turn momentum the other way. Rebels out to a 1-0 lead. It was that Olivia Mel goal at the 12-minute mark, 11:30 to be exact.
You look at the conference, Northwest Suburban Conference, typically you see the same teams up there nudging around. This year, kind of a little bit of a shift. Even Coach Grease said it's unusual not to see Centennial or Blaine in the top 3 spots, but you get some teams like Spring Lake Park up and coming, and now as well as for Osseo as well, having a nice season.
You can just see how much that wind is affecting even just the anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
Any ball that that stays in the air for amount of time is being misjudged. Girls running to the wrong spots and end up waiting. Good slide tackle to try and take that one out, but it still caroms over to Macy Wax, and Carrie Ling now will put a drive ahead to it, trying to spring her team. Here comes Krengle way out. Will scoop that one up too far outside the reach and the range of the Huskies forwards.
We're midway through the first half, and now you kind of look at it and you think, okay, now will we start to see maybe that wind wear down? Maybe the Rebels and maybe the Huskies find some better strategic passes through or alleys as well. But right now the Rebels, as you mentioned, Pete, continue to try to work the ball along the lines and wide to get it out.
Controlling the middle of the field, if this is the way they can do it, by shrinking it and playing the perimeter, that's going to be a foul on the back end. Huskies forward. Just a little too physical.
So that must have been, you think, Peyton McKnight. Looks like she's throwing a bandage away.
That is exactly who it is.
Who took the ball to the nose. Now shaking it off, along with some of those ace bandages from her nose, and back out there ready to get at it.
Mel centers. And this is too far outside the reach for Hayden Calla. Matchette putting some pressure on, and Fields will turn. Get for Paige McKnight. Kowalczyk one touches it back, but it's too far. And a throw in coming for Champlin Park. Kushnerek and Madsen going to come off.
Lade, yep, heads in, along with Reichel for the Rebels.
And Ivy will be the one to throw it in right in front of her own bench. She throws in, looking for Collins. Collins marked nicely by Fields. And Collins will get called for a foul there. I think it was just a potentially dangerous
high kicking. I'm kidding. Instead of high sticking, high kicking.
Gotcha.
Right?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, sure.
Let's make that a thing.
No pity.
Kowalczyk plays that one down and tries a crosser. Good play on the Rebels defense, and making that play now, stepping up into it is Shortridge. She man passes for Olivia Mell. Now Mel chases, turns it back around, trying to create a little bit of a lane or a crease. Instead, it's a turnover. Overham starts the momentum for the Huskies, but they're spending a little bit more time in their own end than they anticipated.
The Rebels pressing right now, getting the
Blanchette
spacing.
With some room, from about 25 yards out, puts a drive into it. It'll go all the way out, and it'll be a goal kick for Bree Law.
And what you're also seeing, Pete, from this wind is it magnifies when you try to trap the ball. If that wind is coming at you or a pass, either way, if it's not really controlled, an errant pass or a ball that gets too far out in front of you, the wind just really amplifies that error and has created a tough time to really settle it, especially for the Rebels, as they try to, reverse field, as they're going to try to do here.
Dobratz is out for the Huskies. Peyton McKnight stepping in, trying to get around the corner. Fields late on defense, and the shot from Kalla is deflected, but hits the side of the net, and we'll have a corner, the first for Champlin Park, and taking that one is going to be Blanchette.
Good through ball, maybe one too many dribbles as he gave the defense for Andover a chance at least to get back and disrupt.
Hurling, and that one's going to come all the way out with that wind. You almost want to opposite the corner kick so that you can get the abnormal bend that you would normally get out of your corner.
Right.
You probably want to put a left foot
absolutely
on the near side and a right foot on the far side, as usually it would be opposite. But the wind today is having that much of an effect.
You look at that miscue right there on that corner. That wasn't that bad of a miscue. But it really stretched and made a mistake. Before you know it, the ball's all the way back on the other side of midfield.
Kala has it taken away. Fields trying to just get it up the perimeter. Instead, Mac Jones will get it for Peyton McKnight. McKnight cross for her teammate, now backing in, trying to retrack.
And you look at these passes as well. A lot of execution has to be really clean on a day like this.
Rush from the far side, trying to get there before the cross. They don't. That last touch out of beyond the end line. Good work on the defense by Riley Siesenbeth.
Yeah, 4 corner kicks so far in this first half. 3 for Andover, 0 for 3. And short time ago saw the Rebels with their first corner kick. That was unsuccessful. Still a 1-0 lead for the Rebels. They get quick opportunities, and they're back out again. And they're starting to sustain, Pete, a little bit more pressure of the Rebels on their possessions.
Peyton McKnight will drop for Ellie Fields. Passed ahead there for Euchre. Euchre tried to head that beyond, did so successfully, couldn't roll off of that like she wanted to and spring herself. Siesenbeth. A little back and forth with Van Gay. And a challenge on the far side results in the ball heading out. Throw in for Champlin Park. Mel quickly marked in. Was forced to give it up, push it backwards, and try and regroup. Do the Rebels. Over him. Good stop play. And a good takeaway there by Blanchette for the Rebels. Jones couldn't stop the momentum. Kala still working on it, and Fields finds it first with her foot. Redirects and a takeaway by Kowalchuk. Kowalchuk Fields near side for Paige McKnight. McKnight being pressured, and that'll go out. It'll be the Huskies on a throw-in. Fields will step on beyond midfield and try and get one of the Huskies on a run here. Euchre centers for Overham. Overham puts the brakes on and works to her left for Kowalchuk. Kowalchuk now trying to get inside the box. She's going to feed Paige McKnight, but too far out of her reach.
That ball picked up some velo on just a little bit of a pitch pass on the turf. Could not catch up with it. Could the Huskies. And as I said before, just sometimes those little tactical mistakes are being magnified with this wind. As it just missed on that through ball and a chance to maybe send a corner.
Schellenberg gives that one a ride all the way down to the 50-yard mark. But it's a takeaway by Peyton McKnight. And again, just one step late on the near side, as that one was pushed out too far. Throw in again. Jones will start it the other way. Favorable bounce for the Huskies, but the Rebels are able to get around. Mel plays this one off of Fields, and good footwork there by Ellie Fields as she was able to settle and then play it off of Mel out of bounds to get a Huskies throw in. Jones to Overham.
Pete,
on the backside for Ling.
We've had a chance to, I wouldn't call this wind adverse conditions, but certainly last year, the section championship, the game we covered up at White Bear Lake. And now that was some wet ball, I'm telling you.
I am so glad we were inside.
It was just up here, down. It was nonstop, monsoon-like. And I'll tell you, I thought that favored, the opposing team because it slowed down the Huskies. But, boy, it came down to penalty shots on that decision on night. And it wasn't that cold unless, of course, you're on the field. But the wet just changed how everyone played. You saw them trying to be careful with steps. And I say that because in this wind as well, you want to be confident, but you can almost see them trying to be careful of not missing a pass or leading too far through, or even when the Rebels have the ball.
Van Gate called for the foul there. Paige McKnight draws that.
Just south of 10 to play.
And Mac Jones will put a charge into this one using the wind to all of its advantage. Gets about 3 feet off the ground, comes across midfield where it's stopped by Lade. Starting the other way, and that one will go out. And another throw in for the Rebels.
Peach getting ready to come in, Tatum.
Dobrats will come back in.
And then Harbaugh. Good to see her back out there. And looking pretty sound.
Euchre will get her first rest.
Euchre with 3 goals this season.
Throw in. Played ahead and cleared just ahead of the box. 25-yard mark. Van Gay comes over to clear that, but sends it off the mark, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Huskies. The pace is slowed.
It has, you can tell. It's getting long in the tooth this half, especially with this wind. It certainly hit the endurance.
The wind, the heat.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it. The step just isn't necessarily there. Another quick foul call, and it'll be a free kick for the Huskies. It's like it'll be dropped for Mac Jones.
Now here's a good chance. Hey, that's a free kick from the 30-yard line. Got a boomer of a leg.
From about 5 yards. She scored from about 5 yards closer last Thursday, but with this wind, anything is possible, as the great Kevin Garnett said.
Under it a bit. Even those bounces, as a keeper, you're watching everything on that wind. It changes the direction coming off the turf. Is it a backspin, topspin? And Kringle doing a good job this far in goal.
Kringle plays that on the one hop off the high backspin ball. Another sub coming in for the Rebels, and that's going to be Mia Reinhardt. She'll come on for Van Gay. Amelie steps out for the first time here this afternoon. Throw in for the Rebels, finds Blanchette. She centers, and trying to take this one away are the Huskies. Dobrats works around traffic, has it on her left foot. Taken away, crossing attempt. Hits off of a body in the box. Another high booting ball. Bent to Peterson, trying to work that forward, and very close to a foul inside the box, and not called. And the Rebels are able to escape. No damage.
Flurry of opportunities, just missing. A good, clean look to put on Kringle, but Rebels did a good job of disrupting those open lanes. And some of those shots getting enough on it. As you mentioned, a couple of close calls. You don't want to take that penalty inside that 18.
Fields ready to throw it in and looks to spring. Instead, she's going to go right to Dobrats. Dobrats was able to back down her defender, but not able to get on top or get in possession. Overham, good stop play. Didn't want to give a turnover in that spot. The Rebels might have had numbers. Ling on the far side turns and sends forward. Good work around the line, and it is marked as out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Champlin Park.
Yeah, good footwork along the side, good dribbling, pass to the self and back. Not much room to work with, kind of like a phone booth. I'm probably aging myself, but some good footwork. I thought she was going to be able to move it down the line. It went off her own teammate.
Sent ahead, but quickly turned in towards the middle. Rebels take it away again, work towards the middle, trying to spring on the far near side for Ivy Reichel. Reichel marked by Fields, and the pass is off the mark. Peyton McKnight clears that one out. Dobrat's on a long run. Kringle will wait and quickly give that up for Schellenberg. Schellenberg goes right back for Kringle. Far side. Dobrat's getting her workout in today. Crossing sides, and she tries the slide tackle. Can't come up with it. But Huskies do come away with possession. Back for Overham. Overham works back through the middle, making one defender miss.
You could tell Dobrat's that time was hunting for a bad pass, a miscue, and she was putting pressure. Now here's a chance.
Touches it for McKnight. Peyton has it. She's being marked on the backside. And this should be a throw-in unless we have a foul. It is a foul, and Champlin Park will get it.
But you could see Dobrat's just really jumping in, trying to find a pass, jump that, and trying to cause a turnover without tipping the ball. And in this win, that's an added critical element that can really up that anxiety. She almost got a good look. She got a steal, and they couldn't close it.
on her foot now. Works to her left, centers across, and it's taken away, but she has hustles, recognized it. Now it's on Peyton's foot. Peyton drives this one too high and over the net. And it'll be a goal kick for Kringle.
Good opportunities. Defensively, Andover had a miscue, and the Rebels took it. And boy, that felt like a quick tempo change once they stepped in front of that pass, but they couldn't hit on that through ball, because the Rebels. And then the Huskies have taken it down and held this possession since then.
Overham with the takeaway, sends it to open space on the far side. This is Paige McKnight working up the right. Gets around the defender, now turns and crosses, and it'll be cleared out for a throw-in. Good job inside the box by Caitlin Shortridge, not letting anything develop for the Huskies. Eliana Lang rolls that in, and another throw-in for the Huskies. Long throw in, kicked out again. This one, Shortridge as well.
I thought for a minute that ball was going to get blown back behind the end line and a potential corner opportunity. Just how much it suspended in the air and started to lean back downhill, but deflected out. It'll be a throw-in, just a throw-in for Andover.
Mel and Madsen back on the pitch. And a throw-in for the Rebels forthcoming as we're approaching the 2.5 mark remaining in this first half.
Rebels want to get some fresh legs out there for these waning minutes of the first half. Trying to keep them fresh. Now a throw-in for Andover.
Lang wastes no time, quickly gets it in. McKnight couldn't get it with the touch. Now it's back on Lang, who sends it for Overham. Good work back through the middle. And the Rebels slow things down, and it's Lang will set this up for Grape. Grape ahead for Paige McKnight. And she chips. She's going to try and get Dobrat's, and a good play on the Rebels' backside.
Very close to connecting on that through ball.
That was Schellenberg that played the
played
ball
well.
very clean.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have a foul that came behind the play, so we'll have a free kick right at about the 50-yard mark. And Mac Jones will try again to throw a leg into it. Catches the deflection right out the top of the box. There's one set towards the net, and Kringle sprawls out to her left, wide of the post, but makes the safe play, knocks it down.
Secures it with the two glove hands, takes it to the turf. Now a punt, and Andover will trap it.
Sends it right back through the middle, and Kringle again goes to the turf to save that one as Bent Peterson was charging in from the near side. Long outlet, through ball up to the 50 mark. Kowalczyk steps in front, gets dragged down. Now Dobrats trying to spring Paige McKnight on the outside. Good takeaway. We're under 30 to play here in this first half.
Rebels.
Schellenbach will play this all the way back to Kringle. Throws another charge into it. That checks up at about the 40. And working through the center. Lang puts on pressure for the Huskies, creates a turnover and a foul, late foul. And that'll do it for the first half. Joe, not many shots on goal, but we do have one goal, and that belongs to Olivia Mell of the Champlin Park Rebels, and has paced us thus far, giving the Rebels a one-goal lead. What needs to change here as we come back out for the second half?
Well, let's see how both teams kind of adjusting into the win come that second half, and see what changes in terms of the strategy and the pace of play for both of these teams.
We'll look for more goals and more opportunities here in the second half on QCTV Sports. It's girls soccer, Champlin versus Andover, second half coming up. Stay with us.
The Andover Community Center. A beautifully renovated building is ready for your next adventure.
So yeah, we're coming up on our 20th anniversary here later this summer. For the ice arena, the facility as a whole, including the YMCA, opened, it'll be 20 years next summer. But yeah, early on in the planning process, the city got together with the YMCA and formed a partnership. So not only do we have our gymnasiums and the two ice rinks and walking track, multiple community rooms that are all operated by the city, but then the YMCA has all the fitness, the studios, the pools, obviously all those programs that YMCAs do, and I think it's fair to say it's been a very successful partnership here for coming up on 20 years.
From the growing popularity of pickleball to the walking track, the Andover Community Center offers plenty of activities to suit your needs.
Yeah, so just to hear about 4 years ago, we did a big expansion, added our second sheet of ice, which includes a walking track on the second level, added another gymnasium, multiple community rooms again. But yeah, again, going back to maybe the early folks that designed the building before I was here, you're right, we get a lot of compliments. The black concrete floors, all of the wood beams, all the woodwork through the building. We work really hard as a staff to maintain all these spaces. We took opportunity here this spring actually to do a fair amount of updates going on 20 years. It was time to refinish floors and do a lot of painting and that type of stuff. But yeah, it's certainly a beautiful building. You know, we take a lot of pride in the community center here. It's a beautiful facility. I would encourage anybody that's maybe not made it in here to just stop in. Visit our information desk. We can take you on a tour. Be happy to show you all of the schedules, all the activities, and really just all the opportunities that the community center has, both for residents and non-residents. Also, our partnership with the Y. You can stop and visit their desk, talk about Y memberships and all the great programs they run as well. So definitely come and see us. Fun Fest is coming up here in just a few weeks, and that's a great opportunity if you're going to be on the grounds for Andover Fun Fest. Make your way over to the community center. It's a good spot to come cool off a little bit, grab some concessions, whatever you need, and come visit us.
On this edition of Lunch with the Mayor, I am hanging out with Julie, a 40-year veteran at the City of Champlin.
So when I first started back in 1982, I was the administrative clerk, and then I became administrative secretary, and then I worked in human resources, and then in 2022, I became the city clerk. So, and in my city clerk role, I administer the elections, I issue business licenses like tobacco and alcohol and gas and THC, food trucks, all those different things. So
Today we are at Ginza Sushi and Grill, a must-visit destination for sushi, hibachi, and much more. One of your favorite restaurants here in Champlin, Ginza.
It is. I love them. I usually get the hibachi steak, and it's always, the meat is always very tender and it's very flavorful and whatnot, so that's one of my favorite things.
My son Abel came along as well and was feeling adventurous with his culinary palate. As Julie, Abel, and myself order our hibachi, the generous staff at Ginza brought out a stunning assortment of sushi platters, and we were in awe of these beautiful works of art. So my youngest son, Abel Sabas here, he's coming to his first ever Lunch with the Mayor episode. He's really excited. And he has a question for Julie that he is just dying to ask. What is that question, Abel?
What's your favorite part of the job?
What's the favorite part of my job? Well, I would have to say my favorite part is the people that I work with. I have a lot of friends at City Hall. In fact, I kind of consider them to be like my family because I've worked there for so long. In fact, we have a lot of employees that have actually worked for the city for 25 years or more. I'm not the only one that has a lot of long service at the city. So, and it's really nice. They help me with, when I need help, they help me with things, and it's just kind of fun to go to work and you know, see everyone. So
one thing that I look at your position as pretty exciting is when I myself as mayor or a council member or new commissioner raises their right hand and gives their oath of office, you get to administer that. And I think that's pretty exciting because for me and my family, when I had my kids there and my wife there, that's a big moment in our lives and something we'll look back on for forever.
Right.
And my kids will be able to look back on, you know, long after I'm gone. And you get to be an integral part of that. And so tell me a little bit about your thoughts on that.
you know, you're right. I didn't really think about it that way, but I do enjoy issuing the oath to the council, and I was really happy to be a part of that for you when you were being sworn in as mayor. We do it for all the commissioners as well. So council serve a 4-year term, and council and mayor, and then commissioners serve a 3-year term. So every time their seat is up, and if they're re-elected, then we need to reissue the oath. And basically they're just saying, like, I agree to uphold the office and, you know, serve to the best of their ability and whatnot. So, and look at how beautiful this is. You just can't, it's just amazing. So thank you very much. It was a fun day.
Lots of different options. I hope you guys had fun watching. Julie, I was excited for today's episode because you're such a special person at City Hall. And this was a great lunch. Thank you. And thank you to Ginza for their over-the-top generosity, craftsmanship, and delicious food. Champlin is lucky to have Ginza in the community. So be sure to dine in or try out their amazing takeout options.
So here in Andover, we have what we call our Adopt a Park program. We have over 70 parks and open spaces that we maintain. So any help we can get from the public, we greatly appreciate. So currently we do have a handful of parks available for adoption. The way the program works is you reach out to our Public Works Administrative Assistant, Danielle, and she can set you up on it's a 2-year commitment that you clean the park twice a year. We supply the garbage bags and everything, and then we'll come pick them up after your event. And it's a 2-year commitment, and you get a sign at the park recognizing whether it's your family, some local businesses do it as a way of just giving back to the community. So any help with the Adopt a Park program is always greatly appreciated in helping keep the Andover parks clean. So we ask a minimum of twice a year, a spring and fall cleanup. You're welcome to do it as many times a year as possible. Obviously, the more often you do it, the less trash there is to pick up. So, but twice a year is the commitment that we ask for people when they sign the contract. So, with all the parks, a lot of them are neighborhoods, and a lot of families just kind of adopt them as like their own park. So, they're in their backyard. They help keep them clean, and it's always appreciated from our staff and myself and everyone here at the city. People enjoy it. People take ownership in it. Like I said, they start calling it their park. So people seem to enjoy the program, and we've really had great success with it. And currently we have most of our parks are adopted, but we do have a handful. If anyone's interested, they can reach out to go to our City Andover website, into the Parks Department, and look for our Danielle Lensmeyer. She's the one who manages that program, and she can get you set up.
Welcome back to Champlin Park High School. It's getting ready for the second half of Andover and Champlin Park. And in the first half, not too many shots, just 4 combined shots, but the scoring chances favored the Huskies. There's a deflection out front off of Ava Kowalchuk that prevented that one. A save there made by Caitlin Krengle. But the only goal in the first half comes off the right foot of Olivia Mell. She got past the defenders and was able to bury that one deep. One corner there led to a corner there. Here's another opportunity. Could have been a foul in the box and a save made in front of Krengle. Good job by Riley Seesumbath. She had a solid first half defending against the Huskies and their potent forwards and midfielders. Pete Anderson alongside Joe Rulin, and Joe, that first half only saw a total of 4 shots, 3 saves made by Caitlin Krengle in net for the Rebels, and on the only shot put on net for the Rebels, it's a goal for Olivia Mell. Other than that, it was Champlin Park doing what they set out to do, controlling the middle. They kept the Huskies on the perimeter, limiting chances, and using the wind to their aid a couple times, because there was some good drives sent there that just sailed high and wide because of that wind, pushing the balls from our right to left out of play.
Yeah, usually a wind like that and that velo, you're going to see an opportunity with a good couple of screamers, lasers that come. Probably the closest one was by Dovitz, and Dovitz put that one just over the crossbar and had a good look. So let's see what kind of a strategy the Huskies have as they now will be running into the wind here in the second half.
Huskies wearing their white uniforms, gold numbers, which on my old eyes is not my favorite, but we'll battle. Kate Overham feeds far side. And the Huskies, who start here on kickoff this half, trailing by a goal. Fed through the middle. That's Mackenzie Euchre. Now feeding again to Overham. Huskies now facing the wind. They played with it in the first half, and from our vantage point, it looked like it was more of a hindrance than a help. Ava Kowalchuk looking, trying to make a move. She works back to the inside, keeps it on her foot. Peyton McKnight back on there. She took there's a drive from the far side. I believe that's Paige McKnight on the far side. It missed the post, and it'll go out. It'll be a goal kick for Krengle.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching the strategy here to begin the second half that Coach Grease has put in place. I'm sure, we'll keep playing our type of soccer, but really try to find some ways to pressure, jump those passes, and really create some opportunities for your teams. Your teammates.
Wax trying to give it over for Peyton McKnight off the mark, but the Huskies are able to regain control. This is now Kowalchuk. Gives back on the far side for Grant. Now near it, they're going to reverse course. McKnight gets bumped off her path, and it's going to be a takeaway. Krebsbach gives back for Vangay. Siesenbath drives through the middle, and that's picked off. Good job there by Abigail Grant. Mac Jones being pressured by Olivia Mell, and Jones will put that for Grape over him. Huskies really, they had those chances early going off the crossbar. Since then, they've been a little bit stifled. They haven't been able to generate some of those chances that they got early. They sent a couple passes long. And you want to think that from the Huskies standpoint, some of their mistakes and some of their shortcomings here, especially offensively in that first half, were their own doing.
Well, and you saw it on the back line, just on that last possession. A little tentative at making one more pass and reverse the field because, hey, if you don't hit it square, that ball could find itself right on the foot or somebody's going to jump kind of a lazy pass and have a good look.
Goes off of Fields and then back onto the foot of Kushnerek, who sends it out. So it'll be a flip. Fields will throw it in. McKnight for Wax. And Mel will work towards the center of the field, looking for some openings. Instead, it's picked off, and it'll be starting the other way. Abigail Grant. She feeds Paige McKnight on the far side. Kowalchuk tries the center, gets a deflection, goes right to the middle. Fields stepping up into it and tried to one-touch that outside for Macy Wax. Good deflection for the Rebels and a favorable bounce. Outlet pass, working is Olivia Mell. She's got Jones marking her. Mell going wide, looking, and
just wants to put it off the foot of Jones, use her momentum. I think she knew she wasn't going to be able to pull the trigger on a quality even crossing opportunity, so I thought she bumped it off the foot of Jones and must have missed.
She missed it. She definitely was attempting that. But what we're seeing is now Champlin is seeing how fast that ball moves forward with the wind at its back.
It's one of those cases where, hey, when you're going into that wind, you still got to go full throttle and not be tentative. You saw Andover make a pretty good run on that far side of the field, then pulled up and just had trouble getting those next couple passes, even the next one, in a spot for a teammate that they could capitalize.
Throw in for Shortridge. Tries to get it. She does get it inside the box, but it's Jones finding it on her foot. And a long clear up the sideline. It'll go out, but just shy on the near side of midfield, the Husky side of midfield. And it'll be Shortridge with another throw in. She goes long down the sideline looking for Mel. Jones plants herself in front and now gives off for Grape. Grant works around the edge. Back into the middle for Kowalchuk and over too far out of her reach. Coming right back the other way are the Rebels. This is Krebsbach. Her pass off the mark. Kowalchuk finds a little bit of a seam before she's marked by Krebsbach. Now gives up for Fields. Fields. Wax's pass back for Fields. Deflected out of bounds by Krebsbach.
Well, even on the windy days, the one thing, you see it in baseball, Pete, as a coach too, is the wind, you got to be louder, prouder when you are having windy conditions because everyone's got to hear you. And when you continue to communicate in soccer, where you are, where you're at, that's got to be loud and with conviction so they know where to drop it. But the thing about it is you may be open, but with this wind, it's kind of changing the direction. So if your teammates are not hearing you, they're going to leave some gaps and then some great turnover opportunities, and then transition soccer begins.
A little bit of a misplay on the far side leads to a turnover, a throw in now for the Rebels. Overham was feeding Paige McKnight, and McKnight misjudged it. Had it bounce right in between her legs.
I'll tell you, Harbaugh came off, and she still looks like favoring that leg and that knee as she limps her way to the bench.
She got rolled up on in that first half. Off of that that crossbar. It was off the upright crossbar above the goalpost by Dobrats. Kowalczyk puts the brakes on, goes back to the left, now sends it through, trying to get it past, and Kringle will race over into the right side of the box. Her right side, not ours.
I love that Kowalczyk pass. You could tell she was spinning, trying to find the right read, the right cadence in which to release that through ball, and that's how they're going to have to take their shots here in the second half.
Good touch now, Kowalczyk, right down the middle, deflected shot. Couldn't find the mark.
Look at the juice from that deflected shot.
Krebsbach trying to make a little something happen, and an offside is the call. Collins a step behind the defender.
As I said in that first half, everything is magnified. The block shot kicks out to about midfield, one bounce, and then almost a perfect pitch pass over the top of the defender, but the forward downfield for the Rebels whistled for the offside.
Near side, Grape goes to Fields. Fields quickly pressured. Gets it for Peyton McKnight. And Overham, pressured by Van Gay, gives the ball up. It's Blanchette.
That was a strange carom on that hop.
Top spin, coming around, going around the corner. No foul there, and a good step up play on the far side for the Rebels, trying to spring something through the box, still back in there, and now on the foot.
Yep, but deflection came back and getting a quality look to the Rebels, but
it'll be a corner, and then Blanchette's going to go over and get that one for Champlin Park. You see right here, good touch there by Mill, and off of the deflection, it was Shortridge stepping up, trying to put a drive into it. Here's the corner. Does catch off a body in front for the Rebels, but a foul is called right after that first touch against Champlin Park and nullifies that set piece.
Well, goal kick. They'll start it out quickly. Will Andover and Jones, but really surveying which area they want to attack when they move it upfield here against the Rebels. And this afternoon, there hasn't been a real qualified area where to attack. They're closing it up, causing turnovers, bracketing the Huskies when they do have the ball.
Huskies are struggling just to get anything going more than a couple touches. And throw in by the Rebels. Mel tries to get around the corner. Good defense there. I believe that was Grant.
A good throw-in.
Really good throw-in using that wind. Off the deflection, it comes out. It'll be Champlin Park again. Shortridge returning to that spot. Throw into Van Gay. McKnight tries to put a boot into it. Then she gets a second chance. This one checks up high in the air off the turf. Krebsbach played it, but didn't know where it went. Now it's on Wax. Gives back for Fields. Fields for Peyton McKnight to Mac Jones, who's going to work to her left. She gives for Grant. It's behind her, and that will be another unforced error for the Huskies. Giving another throw in for the Rebels, this time all the way down at the 25-yard mark. Into the box. This will be another throw in for the Huskies, just trying to avoid that corner because the wind on that corner can just push a corner straight into the net.
I love that defensive play. It was subtle, but you could tell she got the body over there and shielded that thing from becoming a corner kick opportunity.
Well, now we'll have the corner after the throw in. Goes off the head of, I believe that was Kowalczyk, and goes out on the goal line. So it'll be Blanchette lining up the corner. And as we said, that wind is significant.
Let's see how Andover sets up the marking.
Works just over the crossbar, header, and that one will go out on the goal line, and it'll be a goal kick for the Huskies.
Okay. Ideally on those headers too, you want to elevate, climb the ladder, and send that header down to that lower 90. There's always a tough save for a keeper, but that time they purged through, did the Rebels, and got their head underneath it and moved it off the mark.
Give is near side. Grape gets past one defender, but Mel is there to take it away, and nutmeg against Ellie Field. Another nutmeg there on Grape, a shot, and Law punches that one down and picks it up. Good job there by Bree, tracking that all the way. Two really good moves there by Olivia Mel.
That really was. Blistered one, tested the those hamburger helper hands of Law with those gloves, and it makes a secure save and no rebound.
One touch can't spring Kowalczyk on the far side. And one player we're not seeing on the field right now, Joe, for the Huskies, is Addie Dobrats. Eliana Lang on the far side. That one will be cleared by Schellenberg, and we'll have a throw in. Lang has been on that duty.
Yeah, it was interesting to see when they...
Here's the play by Mel.
Get Dobrats.
Gets one player, then another, Fields and Grape, and then puts the shot on there, and Bree Law saw it all the way. Throw in, Kowalczyk battling for it. Attempts a slide tackle just to push that one back. Kate Overham has to race all the way back, almost to near field. Fields, too strong on that touch ahead for Wax. And it goes out, another throw in. And ready to step in for the Huskies here will be Ava Sear.
Callum back in for the Rebels. Limping coming off. That's Collins, and looking at it, so wow.
Throw in from the Champlin Park Rebels right in front of their own bench. Off the mark, but Mel is the first touch. Gets past Grape. Now looking for a through ball to help her own teammate. Can't get that one completed.
That was a great defensive play there with Andover for the back line.
Back for Mel, marked by Jones. Still working and gets the ball moved forward for Kala. That one will go out. Huskies will take advantage.
I was trying to see the number on that Andover player, Pete, but hey, they had a good line on a through ball, but she just subtly got the knee up, blocked it, turned, and sent it back upfield. And same person who, prevented that corner kick.
Eliana Lang throws it in, finds Kowalczyk, chips that one up and over a defender. Another good chip pass up over a defender. Krebsbach with some good footwork, protecting that from Ellie Fields. But it will come all the way in deep. Kringle back for Siesenbath. Riley Siesenbath with some space and gives off for Van Gay. Van Gay will spring near side for Egan. R. Egan tried to get that ahead for Krebsbach. Tight window. Blanchette comes away with it for the Rebels. Lang steps in front of that long pass, where it bounces back to her. One touch over for Overham. Overham protects well. Sends into space, but Siesenbath wins the race. Gets there first. Redirects for the Rebels. 1-0 here.
Rebels trying to capture their first win of the season. They had a tie with Totino, and goals have been a premium this season thus far, but they have one early, and that was Mel for the Rebels and that 1-0 lead still remains.
Throw in for the Huskies. We're in the 17th minute here of this second half. And the Huskies have really yet to generate anything in the offensive department in this second half. Really haven't generated anything since about the 15-minute mark, or I should say the 25-minute mark of the first half. Dobratz does step in here for the Huskies. Have to assume that she'll be in for the duration now, and the throw-in goes right to her. Back for Fields and Dobratz, back and forth. Good play there by Van Gay, taking away some passing lanes for the Huskies, and it's Dobratz with it back on her foot, marked by Van Gay, and a deflection goes out. It'll be a quick throw in. Fields takes it quickly, trying to get it ahead for Euchre. Back for Fields at the 30-yard mark. She works around the corner, and it'll be a throw in, but no foul. I think Fields was asking for the contact rather than the throw in.
Yeah, that fall looked like a scissors kick by the time she landed.
She gives it on the backside. Winding up and firing, but it catches a deflection. Siesenbath was in the way, and Mel will get a good touch to get that one ahead.
And you just see the team who has the wind at their back. You saw Andover doing it, and now you saw Mel do it. They look like they're in the midst of a hunt as they're running downhill, applying that pressure, maybe just getting a deflection or anything, because once they can get possession, they're going to have a good look, a good quality look.
Run from the outside. This is Kala. Gives for Krebsbach, who is straight on, but pushes it wide right. And a goal kick forthcoming from Brie Law and the Huskies.
She had a good look, did the Rebels, over there at a much better look. Mel was eyeing it up, and she didn't realize she was going to stand right in the path of a teammate who was going to just wallop and square up a laser, but she had to stop, reset. And she lost some the proficiency of that scoring opportunity there.
And Mel down on the trying to get stretched out as she's got a cramp. She went down right away, calling her teammate over, just saying, "Hey, hold this, push against this, please."
85
asking for
degrees,
some relief.
yeah, it's hot. Pete, you saw it with football these first couple of weeks, just trying to get that knee, get rid of that, the cramp in the calves or whatever.
And as Mel gets tended to, we'll take a look here at the Champlin Park Rebels' upcoming schedule. Next up, they've got a tough matchup in Maple Grove, traveling to Maple Grove. They'll host they'll host the Rogers on the 21st and then go to Goodrich Field on the 24th. And that'll start a 3-game road trip. Anoka, Elk River, and Blaine, 24th, 26th, 28th.
4-1 for the Rebels coming into this match. And they're ahead looking for that first W as Mel walks gingerly to the bench. Huskies, meanwhile, they have Blaine. We'll cover that here on QCTV as well on Thursday. Then they go to Maple Grove on the 21st, Spring Lake Park. And then followed up at Rogers and hosting Centennial on the 30th. The one thing with the soccer season, it goes so fast, Pete.
It is, well, it's weird. It's both a marathon and a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
That might seem like an oxymoron, and it probably is. I went to Coon Rapids.
That's
my
like
excuse.
The oxymorons.
Egan with the throw in, headed out by the Huskies defense. Kala can't get anything going. Now it's Blanchette. Rebels missing their biggest playmaker out front with Mel, who just came out with that cramp. Van Gale play it back to Siesenbath.
See them here. They're reversing the field a lot more here in the second half. The Rebels with that wind at their back. It's tough to do it when you're facing that wind and playing into it.
Chipped out, bouncing ball, spinning ball, and that's going to find Peyton McKnight. Peyton McKnight tries to find it. She gets Euchre, Dobratz. Dobratz spreads out, sends it wide, trying to get a little bit of spacing for the Huskies. Long through ball up the far side, and it'll be cleared out. I believe that's Schellenberg. And a throw-in coming for the Huskies. Eliana Lang getting some serious minutes here in this second half.
And any opportunity to have a chance to push the Rebels deep in their own territory here, the Huskies will do it, especially on that throw-in, if they can get a one-on-one or maybe some spacing, just to put anything out in front of the net.
Overham from 35 yards out. Sends one into the wind. Egan easily has that one out of the danger zone. Back on Overham's foot. Gives for McKnight, now back for Fields, who had stepped up. She just gets back into space. She gets run into as she gave the ball up for Grant, and then Grant takes a body. That was Tatum Peach. Overham still working.
Nice takeaway that turn.
Dobratz trying to turn the corner. Taken off of her foot.
You can see Overham is trying to find an alley, a through ball, and a perch kick that time. Good setup, good lead in.
And this will be a corner kick.
That's all. You want to just get an opportunity, just a chance here in this. One kick, one opportunity near the 6. A redirect away from tying. This is Andover.
I think this will be Euchre that's going to take the corner. The sun and the gold. No, that's going to be Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk, I believe it was Euchre on the run. Kowalczyk winds, fires, it's spinning in, looking for a header, it's in! It's a goal for the Huskies!
What a perfect technique. Just outside the 6 and leaning in for that header, so it had some conviction behind it. Andover ties this up with 16 minutes to play.
Addie Dobratz, who else?
Well, she had, the footwork. Once you see it on replay, watch her footwork, find the spot, and she squared up with that header. That thing was not going to go over the top of the crossbar. That was going to go hard to the back of the net. Meticulous setup, beautiful corner opportunity, and cashing in on the opportunity, Andover.
Dobratz scores her 3rd goal of the season and ties this one up. A big goal for the Huskies. And here's an opportunity coming right back the other way. Champlin Park trying to put the pressure on. And the call will go against Champlin Park. A little too physical in the box down there, and that rush by Peach. Jones will take it, get it quickly up to Lang. They'll send it up the sideline, and it'll go out of bounds. Huskies taking a page out of the Rebels book, just working the sideline instead of trying to send it into this win. We'll have 3 subs, and one important one for the Rebels is Olivia Mell coming on right now. Megan Collins also coming back, as she had hobbled off earlier in this half. And we'll keep an eye on both of them. If it was cramping for both of them, you don't really ever get over cramping. You got to fully rehydrate to make those symptoms go away.
I had to keep that in mind watching the Vikings. Was last Sunday. Same thing. Deflection, corner opportunity.
Deflection,
now.
and
is it? Yes.
It is a corner, and it'll be an opportunity for the Rebels right back. It'll be Krebsbach that heads over to the far side corner.
And let's see where everyone is marked up. It's ever so evolving around the 6, the top of the 6, and now with the wind, right now the Rebels are going to move back and then take a charge right into the 6.
Right at the top of the 6. A header does go, but it gets bumped wide. And
Boy, I saw that whistle, and I saw some activity inside that 18. They're going to call it just outside the 18.
Wow.
That's certainly on that replay. Good look, good camera work. That certainly looked as though it transpired just inside the 18, but a free kick.
And the official will walk it off, officially give the mark for the Huskies ladies to build that wall. The sun could also be an issue. You see Bree Law, she's shielding her eyes. Krebsbach. Instead, it's Vangay who sends this one far side corner. Too much on that, and that had nothing to do with the win. That was just not the angle that she was looking for.
Yeah, tried to go far post that time. Missed a good opportunity. And you could tell maybe she was trying to hit somebody backdoor wise, but trying to be a little too perfect and missed the opportunity.
Beyond the mark. This will be sent all the way into the Rebels side.
And a player here I'm watching for Andover is right there, over him.
She's had the ball on her foot a lot, trying to really be the spark plug, the one that springs those passes and has allowed her team to get on a run. Long through ball, that one's
so strong.
Taken away.
She obstructed and
here's an opportunity. Peyton McKnight on the far side, getting the corner. She has it. She shoots, and too high off the mark.
But Overham sees that field so well. And just before Andover picked up that corner opportunity, here's the look.
You see Peyton cutting off the angle and trying to go near side, right inside that post.
And today's one of those days that you got to stay kind of almost on top of that ball. If you let it flutter, it'll float.
And Vangay now dealing with some cramping, and she'll hobble off. Coming on in her place is Mia Reinhardt.
Well, once they look over game film of this one and watch over them, before she made that pass and that through ball, she stopped the ball dead.
Good touch there by Dobratz. Puts it into the 18. Putting the brakes on his Euchre, and coming back to scoop that up is Reinhardt. Does send it out of play. Quickly asking for a ball is Fields right at the 35. Sends it ahead for Euchre, who heads it to nobody. Reinhardt right there. Quickly out for Collins. Takeaway for Overham. Works through the middle. Gets past one slide tackle and is able to get it back for Kowalchuk. Now it's going to come wide for Eliana Lang, who's going to send that to the wide side. It's going to stay in play.
And you can sense Andover's on the hunt going into this win, a momentum shift.
This one comes all the way across. Kringle races to her left. And will scoop this one up, come to the top of the box, and put a punt into it with the wind at her back. Fields tries to play it with the leg. Instead, it's going to be Collins racing, trying to get past Mac Jones. Puts the brakes on, and Jones is not fooled.
Takes control, and now sets it up to midfield.
Kowalchuk ahead for Euchre. Euchre is going to spring McKnight, trying to get it through. McKnight trying to get past one defender. Good job there by Seasonbath. And they're saying last touch by the Huskies. Right in front is where the side official is pointing, saying that McKnight did touch it. After the throw-in, Dobratz tries to get past Reinhardt. And another out-of-bounds play.
Andover started the season as they go up north to the Duluth each year with a couple of tough losses. One to a very strong Woodbury squad, 3-0. Then a 3-1 loss to Duluth East. Picked up the win over Elk River. And then this White Bear Lake team they lost to is currently ranked number 1 in Class 3A, a good team. They came back from that to pick up a win over Osseo, a strong team this season, tied with Totino.
Carrie Ling fresh on the pitch for the Huskies. Will send this forward for Kate Overham. Overham works back from her left to her right. Passes off the mark for McKnight, and the Rebels will turn it over. Back and forth, right at midfield. The Rebels just trying to set something up. Sent forward, that is Shortridge. Trying to get it for Kala. Kala has it on her right foot, still working out wide, and now will drop. Entry ball that short hops Bree Law, but she holds her ground, and it takes a nice bounce right into her hands. And as you call them, the hamburger helper mitts.
So you're looking at Andover, just they're getting the spots. They've become much more confident here in the second half. And you can tell that they have a purpose with each pass, not just to be careful, but confidently placing that ball, settling it, and you can tell it's kind of hit the switch. And that goal certainly had a big thing to do with it. And
bouncing.
You also see them attacking more as well.
A little bit more organized in their attacks and their patience, waiting for that runner at about the 10-yard mark to start going before they send the through ball. Abigail Grant makes one player miss, now sends it through. Bath there to take that lane away and gives the Rebels an opportunity coming the other way. Megan Collins working down the left side. Abigail Grant with a great rundown, and will kick it out of bounds on the near side. It'll be a throw in. Quickly passed in for Mel. Right at the top of the 18. Works down at about the 16 mark, and then a big drive given by Collins. That'll be off the mark, off of everything, and sent beyond the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for Bree Law.
Hey, Grant has played so well on that back line for Andover in this matinee battle. But she's diffusing passes. She's in the right spot, so poised. A key element of the success on that back line for Andover here in the second half.
Outlet pass on the far side, off the mark. Pushed right back into the Huskies' backfield, all the way into the box for Bree. This time she'll throw a punt high in the air that doesn't get much more than 20 yards. Mel has it taken away by Mac Jones. She's just so patient, so calm. Maybe life's just that much easier for her on without skates. I mean, she's great on skates, but
yeah.
when she doesn't have to worry about, bouncing and sliding this way and that way, because she can just control her footing. I mean, she just looks like life is really easy for her.
Or losing an edge. She does. It's just so fluid for her. And there's some who just see the ice well and the field well, and always about a step or two ahead of everyone else.
Kowalchuk slow to get up, but she is back up. Throw in by Ling on the far side. Dobratz deflects it, but it's going to come for Lang. And now an long outlet pass. McKnight chipping at it. That should be a corner. It is. Dobratz also got run on the far side. She took contact. The ball wasn't even near her, and she got
I think the term might say what an explosive possession that was, as some contact, some great play. The result, a corner opportunity. The second half for Andover, their fifth of the game. Of course, we know the story of their most recent corner kick opportunity.
Kowalczyk from the near side, under 7 to play here in the second half. Kowalczyk puts the right field, it curls, another header, and it was Dobratz again. This time she misses wide right, but that one just off the mark, about 5, maybe 10 feet wide of the right post.
She kind of had that look of a super friend come flying in. The only thing missing was a cape, but that header coming out of nowhere. And it's amazing to me how you got to mark up on her. Someone's got to be marking up on her.
Turnover off of the goal kick from Kringle. And Kowalczyk with a drive with the left foot. That one will two-hop its way into Kringle. She easily cradles that. And will step and drive a punt. That'll bounce 5 yards short of midfield and then get a friendly roll. Olivia Mel trying to put a little pressure on Carrie Ling. She gets past her, works back inside for Blanchette. Blanchette gets past the defense. Here comes Bree Law to block it down, and it's cleared out. And it'll be a
corner.
It will be a corner.
Just on the other side of the flag, and hey, was a save percentage.
I know this is going to be a throw-in. It is a throw-in.
Wow, they did.
Blanchette.
Look at this.
Got past Grant, and a great job there by Brelock. Coming out, playing the ball, getting to the ball first. Corner was the eventual call, but that one's blasted.
That was like a friendly fire going someplace nowhere near the field, but it'll be Andover's ball. Great job. Law steps up big time on that rolling ball, closes the gap, and consumes and protects that ball, so there is no rebound to be had. As I mentioned, save percentage this year for Law at .815.
And that'll be a foul on Blanchette. Free kick from the Huskies, about their own 30. Mac Jones wastes no time and sends it, and that's
they said
not
we
enough
needed
time.
You to waste a little bit more time.
Take some more time, please, Mac. Our head official today is Jason Hostet, a well-known multi-sport official. Basketball, soccer, and baseball. That's Peyton McKnight. Gives for Grant. Blanchette using the body, takes it away. Collins works to her left. Chips it right at the top of the 18. Trying to clear it out was Jones. Instead, it's going to be Mel. And
did they call a corner?
I thought Mel got the last touch on that. That should be a goal kick. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Another couple of subs coming in. It'll be Fields back in for the Huskies. And Egan back in for the Rebels. They throw it in instead. There's a shot on net, saved by Breelaw. This is going to come out wide. Lang puts a charge into it, catches a deflection, so it doesn't go far. Lang, no, this is going to be Abigail Grant. Wind definitely a factor here today as we are under 3.5 to play in this second half. Going out wide is Blanchette. She gets past Ling. She puts a drive into it, and if it was a field goal, it might have been good.
Yep, she got some leverage around that corner and the foot, a little bit too much of a pitching wedge versus that driver. Just to kick it and get it on goal, make the goalie, the keeper, make something happen.
About 10 feet above the uprights, crossbar up, or the uprights crossbar.
Wow, this has been a great last 4 or 5 minutes. You can feel the shift of energy by Andover, but now Champlin Park starting to pick up a little juice themselves.
Huskies willing to just send this one into Rebels territory because they haven't been there in a while.
2 excellent saves by Law in the last 2 minutes. One just inside the 6, going down to her knee to block it. And her teammates there to clear.
Kowalczyk going to try and spring McKnight. And a good touch on the Rebels side. Springing it the other way. Mel works past the defense. And a good job by Fields marking her cleanly. Comes away with that one. Tries to clear it cleanly, or clear it out. But the Rebels still able to get some deflections. Collins works past Lang. Now gets it to the top. Fields touches first. Clears by about 10 yards. Turning and firing on that one was Dobratz. It gets it all the way into Rebels territory. Saved. Euchre. And we're going to have a foul and a free kick. Euchre
that sliding tackle / trip there.
Read that one perfectly. 90 seconds. Dobratz sets it up. She goes. It's going to hang up in the wind. Good work there as McKnight battling against, that was Shortridge. Dobratz will just send this one in. It's going to come in on Kringle, and she catches that one cleanly in traffic. If she didn't, it was going to be dangerous.
Yep, you had to have focused and soft hands to secure that.
Dobratz will touch that one straight through. But no Husky on the run. And Kringle calmly moves over and picks it up. Another punt there. That's going to come out to midfield. Overham plays it for Kowalczyk. Under a minute to play now. We're approaching 30 seconds left in this second half. Both teams do have one tie on the season. And barring something miraculous, are about to have two.
Yeah, you know, the Rebels looking for that first win, but allowed that gap and the good scoring opportunity off the corner kick.
Dobrat's trying to make something happen there, if nothing else, to just create a foul. Another weird bounce that's going to come in, but the Rebels have it marked, and that'll do it. One goal in each half, and both go into the same goal. Both goals coming into the south end of the stadium.
Playing into that jet stream.
And playing into the wind. But it's a 1-1 tie. The Huskies still remain undefeated in Northwest Suburban Conference play.
They do.
And
Correct.
will improve or have their record go to 3-4-2. The Rebels at 0-5-2. Joe, the goal scorers, Olivia Mell, Addie Dobratz. Who else do you expect?
Well, you know what? Good setups. Good look on some passes set up, but also the saves. The last two saves by the Huskies and Law. The last, I think, final 3 minutes, she made outstanding saves to keep the Rebels from scoring that go-ahead goal.
It was an exciting one, especially down at the end, but it ends in a tie, and both teams will come out unscathed and try and recover, get a little bit more rehydrated, and avoid those cramps. Thanks for watching this girls' game here on QCTV. Joe and I will be back in just about 18 minutes with the boys' game. 7 o'clock start. Stay with us on QCTV Sports. Come out unscathed and try and recover, get a little bit more rehydrated. Thanks for watching this girls' game here on QCTV. Joe and I will be back in just about 18